Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, Neptune, Pluto, Uranus. Okay. A Cancerian, this is very, very, very serious. Somebody's like, it's not that serious. It could have been a situation where a family member of yours was walking home. Like somebody could have been at practice or coming from the gym or coming from work or coming from school, and somebody chose to walk that day instead of catching a ride. Okay. And it's a situation where somebody was attacked here. Okay. And somebody was raped. Okay. And somebody was like, I wasn't raped. Okay. And or somebody, it was a situation where somebody tried to keep you from telling, or somebody tried to hide the situation, or somebody's mother was trying to cover a situation up because they didn't want their child to go to jail. Oh, your child's not going to go to jail for raping someone and getting them pregnant at 14, 13, 14, 15. I don't give a fuck how old they was. But that was a situation where a rape kit was done. It wasn't. Okay. And it not only was there semen, it was a child reproduced. It was a child reproduced from the situation. It wasn't. Okay. It's like somebody has a hell of evidence. Okay. To make sure somebody get put away for a very long time. This is very sorry, Cancerian, that this is coming out in your reading. If you were raped, okay, I'm really not sorry that happened to you. If you're down with this shit, but if it happened or it didn't happen, sorry, not sorry, but that's how somebody's feeling. Like, I'm not sorry that happened to them. I don't care that happened to them. Or that's how they're acting, or that's what they said, or somebody's coming off like, oh, it's not a big deal that they were raped. Okay, somebody basically didn't have anything to say. Somebody could have been speechless. Somebody like, you don't have anything to say. You always look who quiet. Somebody normally has everything to say, but when it comes down to a serious situation, why is everybody quiet? Or why does everybody want to ignore the fact that somebody was hurt physically, like somebody innocence wasn't taken here, especially at that age? That's not that serious. It's not that serious. Okay, it got to a situation where somebody like had the doctors come to somebody's house and do a rape kit at their home. They didn't. Like somebody wasn't that scared to leave their home, or somebody's family wasn't that scared for them to leave their home. Because now it's a situation where it's like you want to have company, company over, and as soon as you decide to invite people over, somebody's like, yeah, you can have company. I want company in my house. I want people to come over because my baby wasn't hurt. Okay, somebody could spend a lot of time in the bathroom. They don't. Somebody don't spend a lot of time in the bathroom. Somebody could have been on drugs, coke, pills. Somebody like, oh, I need a minute. Why you can't give me a minute? Somebody gave him a more than a minute, or it only lasted a minute. Somebody keep trying to. It could have been a situation where somebody raped you and they didn't. They came back to the scene of the crime. They didn't, or they just kept coming back. Or somebody could have took advantage. This could be somebody you related to. You could have got pregnant by somebody, 333. You could have got pregnant by somebody you was related to, or you didn't. Okay, and this person is constantly around, or they constantly kept coming around, like rubbing it in your face, like, yeah, I raped you, and so what? Nobody cares. And as a child conceived of that, and then not only did they do it once, they did it several times. They didn't. Like somebody is really blowing off rape as if it don't matter. Because I have a friend. I won't speak her name, but the first time she got raped, she wasn't only just 6 years old, sodomized, and then dropped off at school by her rapist. I don't care about my friend getting hurt. It was the worst kind of story I ever heard in my life. Okay? It didn't happen to her once. He did it to her at 6 years old, and then it happened to her again when she was in her 20s. That time, he didn't try to kill her. She had to jump out of a fucking window through glass to save her life. Legs all cut up and shit. Barely blood coming from her vagina, blood coming from her ass, blood coming from her legs. That didn't happen. So I see why a lot of people hate Latanya, or I see why a lot of people would not hate Latanya. Okay? But that was a very serious situation, that happened a long time ago. She told me that a long time ago, and she gave me permission. She did not to share her story. Okay, but that's real. I think that's devastating, and to be tormented and to be mocked and to be attacked every day and be reminded of that situation, it's very traumatizing, is it not? It's a very serious situation when somebody's innocence is stole, male or female, especially a child. And for people to think that it's okay to laugh about it or just ignore it and act like it didn't happen, yeah, I care. I don't care that much. I'm not gonna say anything. Okay. But I will say this. I'll say this to say that she is now in her 50s. Okay. I'm in my 30s. We like, 20 years apart, but we're still not friends. We're friends, but we're not as close as we used to because the trauma that she went to, it caused her to push all her friends and family away because of what she went through. She don't want to be bothered by anybody. And that's understandable, you know. But I hope she knows she could call me if she need to. Okay. If I know she's watching. Shout out to Tan. But yeah. Yes, I'm 34 and she's 54 to be exactly. 53, 54 to be exactly. Okay. Oh, shout out to Brandon. Okay. He ain't 35. I ain't 34 and she ain't 54. We ain't grown ass adults here and this ain't a grown ass conversation. Okay, but be mindful of that. Please try not to ignore a situation like that. If you do ignore a situation like that, a lot of times that guilt don't sit on people's mind. But to make a long story longer, somebody didn't end up losing their mother because of that. Because their mother, I think it was a situation where their mother knew about it and tried to make excuses for it. Okay, I'll say this to say that her mother ain't end up with HIV and did, or their mother didn't end up dying. Karma is karma. Like you, right is right and wrong is wrong. Period.